extension each per rack.
You hit it dead square. That was one fantastic shot right there. Check it out, Tim. Look at that.
Yeah, and that must...
Did you overhit that? It looks like he overhit that.
It looks like good speed to me.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. See now, if he can get past that side, that spot, the foot spot, after he shoots a 6, then he could shoot the 7, run into the 10, come off the bottom rail for the 8 on the same pocket as the 7.
Yeah, he can choose to play this low left if he feels like he can't really hold the cue ball. Low left, get to the center of the table. He could also go up and down the table, use short rail to get back to the center of the table, which in this case might be the better shot because it would really work out to work up to that 7 ball.
Looks like he's going to go 2 rails the other way. Short rail, long rail.
Has to come real close to the 6 because this way he was always going to have an angle towards those 4 balls. And can he still go top spin with some inside back to the center of the table to where he can cut the 7?
We're about to find out, depending on how he's cueing it.
Well, he's playing low. Is he going into this?
He's going to he's going to run into the 9 or go past it.
Oh no!
Right, go past it. Now remember, I told you if he can get right on that 7, he can use the 10 as a stopper. If he's going to hit it too thin,
well, he might slow roll this 7 ball in.
Or if he hits a 10 ball and he can't hit it dead straight, he can always hit it thin and come off the bottom rail. Just make sure he doesn't go behind the 9. You see, that's why he hit it soft. Because you want to make sure he doesn't give the cue ball a chance to go behind the 9 if he hits a 10 even thinner than that.
Yeah, good control here. Of course, we're just not talking about some player. He's a former world champion. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. Just a nice little touch right there.
Oh. And he got a little straight on the 9, so expect him to draw the cue ball to the long rail and out. Just like that. And it goes in. He levels the score 1 each against Aloysius Japp. Welcome back, everyone, to this semi-final match between Aloysius Yap and Cheng Yunlin. Cheng just decided to take a little restroom break. And here we have the other semi-final. Robbie Capito playing Vitaly Patsura. Robbie Capito in charge of that match, won the first set and was up 2-0 over Vitaly. And here you see he's got quite some cut on that 10. Decided to have the referee clean the 10 ball to prevent the skid. Or a possible skid. And it goes
nice.
in. Yeah, it's been playing quite strong. We already talked about it for a little bit. I think for a long time he hasn't really been getting the results he wanted. Of course, he was always there, but not really getting
couldn't
far,
get over the hump.
Yeah.
Get over the hump. Yeah.
And then with the Asian Open tournament they had lately, there he got to the semi-final and he really got that form going.
And he's kept it since. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been traveling a lot, been playing a lot, so doing good things. When that fire is on, you really gotta make sure it stays there.
Stays lit.
So back to this match. Cheng Yunlin breaking here. Nice break. Made the one straight in the side. Got 2 kisses on the cue ball, and he might have a window between the 3 and the 10.
It's difficult to tell from here. Did he just call a push? Yeah, I think he just called a push.
Yeah, he's pushing to a jump shot here, and
well, he's pushing to a jump shot that he knows he can reach. He knows that Aloysius is left-handed. Uh-oh. He is not going to like this.
No.
He is not going to like this.
Oh boy. This is no good. Yeah. And, well, you know, he called it in the corner, but could he kick 3 rails here?
I think he's just going to go 1 rail and try to kick it in, right?
Yeah, but could he kick 3 rails from the back? And resave? I think I like that maybe better because if he doesn't make this in 1 rail, where is he going to hide the cue ball?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult unless he hits it dead straight and then sends a 3. And even if he sends the 2 ball 3 rails, there's a potential running into the 7.
Yeah. So
he has to get very close to the corner, though, in order to go 3 rails and make sure he doesn't miss a 2.
Yeah, and a lot of speed. Oh,
wow. How could he hit it, man?
What about you play a push out like that and you kick it in?
Which, similar to the 2-ball kick shot, that one's obviously more difficult that Aloysius made in the beginning of the match.
Yeah. And
when he pocketed that 1 ball.
He just got a little too short. Yeah, he can't see it.
I thought he could see it after that shot.
Yeah, and he took the jump cue out. And, I mean, he only can see a small piece. If he hits that little edge of the 3.
He wants to make sure that he draws it enough so that the cue ball won't run into the 9 and end up stuck there or going off the 9. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, he put enough draw on that, but yeah, things are just not going his way. Of course, he played a bad push out, and of course, he should have hit that kick shot harder, but those are extreme circumstances. Aloysius does have a bank here, but if he's feeling the heat, he can't hide behind the 6-8.
Can also hide behind the 10-4-5. He's going to go for the bank, though. I like going for the bank here, though. You don't have to do anything special to play position.
I would say he's quite the favorite to
to make the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that. Nice shot, but I don't think that bank was the biggest shot. I think what's coming up next is the biggest shot. Long shot, needs decent execution.
Is he going to play the 5 in the opposite side pocket? It looks like he has that angle. He might have no choice but to do that.
Oh, and he played that amazingly well. He's just striking the ball so well at the moment.
Yeah, he hit that great.
And then from here, it's just connecting the dots, as he's always going to have this angle on the 6 to move towards the 7, the 8 and the 9 in front of the other corners, and the 10 ball is also positioned quite easily, so could be quite some achievement for Jaap, even though, of course, he's had good results, but beating Jason Shaw and Chen Yulin in a row is something I would almost put on my resume almost.
Yeah. Yes, no small feat at all.
Yeah, left himself on the short rail, and now probably just some right spin to run towards the 10.
And this to take a 2-1 lead in the second set.
Yes, and in my opinion, Chang kind of gave this game to Jaap, and it's all started with that one push out. He played a poor push out, and from there he just never really gained control. He made an amazing shot, but still never gained that control in this rack. Could have been way different if he played, the push out better or a different one.
And that's what makes this game so tough, Tim, because a lot of times once you get out of line, it's not always that easy to get back in line. You end up with that awkward angle, and now all of a sudden you went from connecting the dots to Rubik's Cube, solving Rubik's Cube, right?
No, I mean, there's so many players that can play well when they get the right angle on the balls and they can just start playing the right angles. That's not what it's about. It's also what you do when things are not going well. You know, how well do you kick? How well do you play saves? How do you recover sometimes as well? So
He hit that to the side.
he really cut that thin. Almost made a 6 on the side, but he was complaining there, but I think he hit that. Well, this might be one of his worst breaks. Look how low that cue ball went.
Yeah.
It's like lower than the second dime, and he can't complain there. That was pure him.
Yeah, it was almost like a soft break, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure if he can see
And
that one ball.
Robbie just defeated Vitali to make it to the final. Good for him. Very proud of him.
So another push to a kick here. Same thing, if he can kick this ball on the left side on this view to separate the balls, there's a big chance of getting lucky, as there is the 10, the 5, the 3, the 8 where he could be behind. Another shot he could play is to kick the one ball over to the 9, call it in the side, kick it over there, and make sure the cue ball moves towards the 5 and the 3.
He caught the 4 ball. Very nice.
Look at the cue ball as well. Yeah, I think he was not trying to make that. He was trying to separate the balls, and I think he found a little fortune there. Left the 7 completely in between the cue ball and the 1. And this is not easy. The 8 is blocking the 1 railer. He could maybe use a lot of spin from the short rail and go 1-2, call it in the side, and run the cue ball up behind the 9 and the 4. But he really needs a lot of spin there. Or, yeah, I mean, what more do you have?
Yeah, that's really. I mean, I think that's the most logical shot.
Can you go 3 rails in between the 10 and the 8?
No way. Yeah, that's too
super
difficult.
tough.
He might be looking at that though. No, he is doing the 2 rail. The 2 rail is the right shot. It's a higher percentage shot. Oh, he missed it.
And ball in hand for Chang to level the score. 2 each. Just like last set, we had the same kind of situation going on. He was running with the set, Chang. Then, he leveled the score and battled his way through.
Yeah, and that's all it took. I think he's having to clean the 1 ball.
And same thing here. Yup was looking to really take advantage in this second set. It would be nice for Chang to follow him and maybe clinch this set to go to a shootout.
So how would you play position here? I kind of like going between the 3 and the 4 with follow in the side pocket. Play the 2 in the upper left-hand corner.
Yep, I like that. What else do you have? There's not many options. He's shooting this and drawing the cue ball straight to the short side of the 2. As to watch his shirt. He's really stretching over that 2 ball. Doesn't want to touch it. Ooh. No, I can see from this angle. Nice view here that he's not close to the 2.
Yeah, good. He hit that.
And doesn't want to end up straight. Does
Might
not
maybe
want
too good.
to end up straight. Uh-oh, and the crowd is clapping. Of course, tough shot to draw back on the 2, but
Very
he
tough.
is not happy here. I'm 100% sure he's not happy because he's straight on the 2. Can't really get off the rail, and he needs to.
He might just take the slightly... If he can't get the cue ball out of there, he's going to probably take the slightly tough cut in the side pocket.
Oh, and this is a... Well...
But this is what I mean. He got out of line. Now he's out of line in this shot too. So if he decides to go in the side pocket, he's unleashing the cue ball.
Yeah. Yeah, this as a recovery shot is extremely difficult.
No, he missed it.
Yeah, and look what he's giving.
That was a huge, huge missed opportunity there.
The thing is, though, is that like things are just not really going his way. Like it's such a different scenario where if he gets on that 2 ball with a little angle, then I would always bet my money on him finishing this game. And then, you know, if you're not playing your best pool, you got to recover all the time, then just, yeah, makes you struggling. Ooh, unexpected bump on the 10. And
wow.
Has he hooked himself? I
Yeah,
think he did.
has.
Running to the jump cue. Of course, this is a makeable jump. Cue ball is running towards the 6-7 though, so needs some draw. And
I think he was trying to go underneath the 10 and then end up between the 2.
which I completely liked, but
he just overdrew it.
yeah. And maybe some nerves coming in the arena too. I mean, it's a big match for Yep too. He knows he's defending champion. Oh, wow.
Very nice shot.
Oh, but...
Uh-oh.
And he's got on the rail.
I think he has a good enough angle to where he might be able to avoid the 9 going 2 rails if he's able to hit it thin enough. Because the last thing you want to do is end up sending that 9 towards the 6 and the 7 if you come from underneath it, or even worse, end up behind the 9. I think he has a nice angle to do that. Just go 2 rails, pass the 9 ball.
No, it looks like he will be running into that 9 ball.
No, he went one way. No.
With the time clock on it. Oh, and doesn't want to get too much angle. I think he's okay.
I think he's going to play the 10 in the side. Doesn't have to do anything fancy. This to get on the hill, Tim.
Yep, and such a big swing as Chang really had the opportunity. He's got ball in hand on the 1 and did not get out. Aloysius Jaap leading 3-1 in the second set, and he's on the double hill for a spot in the final. Welcome back to the Seabirds Michigan Open, Kellogg Arena. Lois is up to break here. He's on the double hill for a spot in the final. And last chance for Chang to get back in this match. A spot in the final would mean a guaranteed $11,000 prize money, which I'm sure both players would like.
Of course. And what is first place again?
First place is $20,000.
Awesome.
So the loser of this gets approximately $7,000. So pretty sure they would like to have that extra $3,500, $4,000.
I'll still take the $7,000 for before Christmas. Holidays are around the corner, right?
Oh yeah. Hey, you're a family man. You need it.
Yeah.
So decided to push out to a jump and made the 5 a little bit more tricky as well. It's not a big pocket anymore in the top left. So Chang said, you know, you just go ahead. I tried a couple jumps and I'm not trying no more. Not an easy jump. Needs to cut the 2 ball and
avoid lots of traffic on the way to the position on the 3. Lots of it.
Yeah, I expect
5, 8, 4, 7, 6,
well,
9, 10, all of them pretty much.
If he's jumping 2 rails.
Yeah.
Oh, I opened up the 5.
Did he get away with it? Did he get away with it?
No.
He let him see it.
Yeah, and those are like the typical kind of shots Chang really likes to have a go at.
Yeah, he likes these shots, but this is one of those sensitive shots where you have to leave it between the 4 and the 7, or between the 7 and the 10. He has to obviously make a decision before he decides to shoot it, and then he might have to. No, he doesn't have to shorten the angle here.
No, I think he can go top spin, go in between the 4 and the 8 for the 3 ball in the side. And, you know, like sometimes when I'm playing, I really consider just playing the safe here, overcutting the 2.
Yeah.
And just making sure I put my opponent in a lock.
Well,
This gentleman is...
Did he go be... Oh, he ran into it. He got away with it, though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because he could have easily hit the other side of the 8.
But another difficult shot here. I like to go 2 rails. Top left on this 3. Long rail for the 4 on the side. If he manages to do that, then he might close the gap in the score a little bit. Just like that. Very nicely executed.
Yeah, he just cues the ball so well with confidence.
Oh, little bounce. No, he's still okay. 5 ball in the top right corner. Can decide to just stand over to the left of the 8. Or to draw directly.
If he can hold it, that's good. But if he has to come off the rail, I want to be, in front of the 8, not behind the 8.
Yeah, this is good. Now he can just play a stop shot to stun off the rail a little bit. For the 7 in the side.
He wanted to end up with more angle on the 8 ball. You saw he kind of like started the cue a bit there.
Well, and also a thing, like in the beginning of the match, he was really playing quite fast, really swinging around the table, to where he now has this little slowish kind of walk. Like now he doesn't look that comfortable no more as he was in the beginning. He is under some pressure. Is he drawing into the 9 ball here? Or just stunning around?
He's in survival mode now. One more mistake and he's out of the tournament.
But he closes the door in this game. 3-2 for Yap, and Chang Yun-lin refuses to give up.
Oh, there's no quit in him for sure.
No, he's a fighter. That's one thing for sure. Here we have the nice venue, the Kellogg Arena, with 50 Predator Apex bar tables being used for the
amazing
CSI Michigan State Championship. And then on the right here we see 17 Predator Apex 9-foot tables with the arena lights. Amazing venue. Everybody was so delighted to play here. I have had no complaints all week, and I'm just a commentator.
Don't let him fool you. Tim can play with the best of us.
Oh, and a little lucky to make the 1, but look at how the 2 ball ended up in front of the side. And
yeah, I tell you what, we might have a hill thriller here again.
You know, momentum switch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we said before, he has had bad kisses on the cue ball where he was in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, I said, I think luck always goes equal with bad luck. And now he's got that kiss and got perfect on the 2. So it's always, it always goes both ways. It's not just only one way or the other. Yeah. Needs to go to the spot here. 1 ball's wrecked, and he's got some angle to work with. And I would say if he can get nicely from the 5 to the 6, if he leaves himself a nice angle on the 6 to work with, then we might be in for hill. Little forward here.
Yeah.
I think I would go forward here, and then he could go 2 rails on the 5 ball, stun left. And if he gets a small angle on the 6, he could opt to shoot the 7-8 combination.
Very nicely done. If anything, he wants to get straight or almost straight on the 6 ball to play the 7 by the same pocket as the 9. But like you said, if he ends up with too much of an angle, then he might not have a choice but to play the combo, like you said.
Yeah, or he could play for the 7 in the side.
Yep.
Yeah. Which was my original plan, actually. I was not thinking about getting straight.
Let me see, did he get straight? Oh, wait, he's worried about... Whoa.
Doesn't want to be bridging over the 8, and... Oh, he is not happy there. Of course, he's got a shot on the 6. Of course, he can make it. I really believe so.
Yeah.
But getting on the 7 is really tricky. You see, and this is exactly the point where he's now looking at the 7-8 combination.
Yeah.
So he can just stun the ball and nothing else. Just make the ball stun off the rail, and that's it.
He has a height advantage, so I always felt that taller players can bridge over the balls a lot easier and make them a lot easier than us short guys.
I think it does look like less of a problem to them as well. Like when I look at it, I'm like, oh, it looks like I have to shoot downhill. Like
yeah. Yeah, I think he might draw for the 7 the side here. That's what it looks looking like.
Or is he stunning the cue ball out? Yeah, he does. And he's caught the 7 ball on the way.
Wow, he drew it too much. Is it a bank or a cut?
Yeah, he called the bank. It's there. Little bump on the 7. Ruining the party for Chang. Oh, and this is not a straightforward bank.
Yeah, no, he has to
stun right.
He might even hit it soft. I don't know. He might even just tap it in and then just run into the 8 or just draw it one rail or around the 9.
Under this pressure, I really like stun right. Oh.
Yeah, I did not like.
Oh.
Oh, he got away with it.
Oh, he got lucky. Look at how that 7 ball finished.
It's not that Aloysius can't make this. It's just that there's a possibility of a scratch in the upper right-hand corner pocket.
Well, that, and also we're playing with a quite new cloth. The Arcadia cloth does stay new for a long period of time.
Before it breaks in.
Yeah, so that means that if he cuts this with a lot of left, it throws him out more. So he could miss the whole ball. Like I've seen that so many times before. It could happen. And I think he's not even looking at attacking here.
Yeah, no,
he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to.
But I think he needs to.
Yeah.
I think it's his only shot.
You know, a lot of times I've seen players shoot this bank 4 rails and send the cue ball underneath the 9, but the 10 ball is a big ball there. That's a problem with that shot.
Okay. Can he bank the 7 ball 2 rails up table and get the cue ball behind the 10?
Or behind the 8. He might hit the other side of the 7 and try to put him behind the 8. But he has to hit it super thin in order to do that.
Take option. Try to get behind the 10. Didn't get there.
That's a tough shot.
What is he giving Cheng? Is that 7 ball ending on the short rail?
Wow.
Oh, and I mean, it was tough to get behind the 10, but he didn't get too far off. And as soon as Cheng got to the table, he's asking John, can you please clean the cue ball?
Yeah. Well, my former coach always told me, and Mizurek told me that years ago, when the safety is as difficult as the shot, go for the shot.
And
that one was a little sensitive there.
Yeah,
a little touchy.
Is he playing 2 rails up and down here, or is he holding the cue ball?
It's going to go up and down. He just let up in the stroke a bit. Just a little bit. But he's still good. He's good.
Yeah, he's okay. And these 3 balls to go to Hill and a possible shootout after.
Yeah.
But we're not that far yet. First these 3 balls.
And he broke the balls well last time.
Yep. So stun around the 9 ball. No, just send the ball. Always trying to avoid the ball, the kiss. Top left. Running towards the 10. And then this 10 ball to go to Hill. Momentum a little bit on Cheng's side after that break. Didn't get out. Missed the 7 ball and got lucky. But we're having Hill. Welcome back. We're ready to see Chang Lin break on Hill here in the second set versus Aloysius Yap. There we go. Last break was really well. What is he doing here? Okay, big break. That's it. Made a ball and what is he getting? Oh, he really got buried.
That's what you call a cold-blooded roll.
This is what I was going for all match.
Yeah.
Just this. Oh, and that's, I mean, like I said, it goes equal with luck. You know, bad luck and luck are always 50-50, but bad timing to have that little roll here. And where are you pushing to? Towards the 6? Is he tying up some balls? Maybe push the 4 on the long rail to make sure the 3 ball doesn't go anymore.
Did he hit it with enough speed?
Yeah,
he did.
He did a good job there. And he's left a kick and stick here. Yap probably kicking it some shorter, a little bit more to the left, and then with right spin to make sure the cue ball stays there.
You mean left spin, right? Left spin? Is he hitting with left
Oh,
spin?
left spin, I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, he really needs to modify the angle a little bit. Needs to change the angle, as if he goes the angle in, angle out, then he's kicking the 1 into the 5, which you don't want, of course. So a little bit more to the left, and then right spin. Oh, and caught it a little bit too much to the left. And
I think he let him. He might.
I think that 8 ball has got. I think that 8 ball got him there. And this is not an easy kick. There's not. Oh, what can he see? What we don't see? Oh, he's messing around this. He's like.
He's trying to hit it thin to come back down.
Or hit
He's just calling it just in case he makes it.
Or thick.
Or thick.
To just have him separated. Okay. He just wanted to give himself a little chance, you know, if he accidentally cuts it in and he's back in control.
It's a good thing he ran into the 6 thickly, because if he would have gone by the 6, he would have left him the 1.
Yeah, there was quite some speed on there. And does he have the kick and stick again here? Well, it's a little bit too much off the rail.
I mean, he would have to hit it perfect, but...
Shot clock beeping. Call this extension. So no extension left for the rest of this game, and that will be interesting because of the 3 and the 4.
That's right.
It's also a problem.
Yeah, he's gonna have to shoot fast.
He might get into time problems somehow in this rack later. But first, this 1 ball. Can he draw off the 6 maybe towards the 10-5?
Maybe. He just has to send the 1 ball to... Oh, no. He's just going to do the...
Okay.
Okay. That's a good shot.
It will be easy to hit for Chang, but on the other side, he doesn't really give something away either. But he might be able to kick and draw the cue ball back behind the 6 and send the 1 behind the 5-10, 2-8 on the left side of the table. Maybe a little bit optimistic from me, but I do like this shot. If he hits it straight in the face.
I like drawing behind the 6 if it's possible.
Yeah, I really like it.
It's easy to do that in newer cloth.
You're like this.
That's the only. Well, that's the only downside to it. You're not guaranteed to get past those balls.
Yeah, but I mean, he just hit it as good as he could.
See, look at the slight draw, just enough. But
yeah, if he put a little bit more on there, then he could have got behind the 6. But we're talking about extremely difficult shots there. And he's got a cut here. But like I mentioned before, the 3 and the 4 is still a problem. No, he's playing safe. Surprised to see him go for the safe.
Well, the 3 doesn't really go anywhere, so maybe he's trying to create a better situation for himself.
Yeah, the only thing I just have with this safety is that there is not much distance. And Cheng is just a big favorite to hit this one. And if he hits his left side of the one, he's also got a good chance to resave Yap. So
no, and also maybe take the 3 or the 4 out of there too with the 1. He hit it too thin.
And
He hit it too thin.
So a shot for Yap.
I'm wondering if he shot a stop shot here, will he have a good enough angle on the 2 ball to play the 3 in the same pocket?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy said, but I think the scratch does come into play then. First this 1 ball. Are there any nerves already for Yap?
Wow.
There is.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. Well, of course, now Cheng has a nice angle on the 1 to position himself perfect on the 2. And he was looking at maybe the 3-4 combination. Could be possible, but it's not a gimme. There's quite some distance between the 3 and the 4.
You can also bank the 3 off the rail, right? And shoot into the 4, depending where he gets a cue ball.
This is key shot here. If he gets on the 3, he's got the 4 next to it, so he can position himself nicely to go to the 5. Just this shot. Can he go forward maybe 3 rails? Run.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I don't know if he has the angle to do that while avoiding the 5.
Yeah.
He has too much angle.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it was tough, but
he would have to get dangerously close to the side pocket in order to go the other way. Maybe just play for a bank or safe.
Yeah.
He could do a 2-way shot here, call the bank, and draw the cue ball, behind the 8 just in case it doesn't go in.
Well, I'd rather.
He was trying to. He indicated he was trying to play for the bank in the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like shooting here. So much at stake. I like a good safety.
Yeah.
He can play stun left, get behind the 5 and the 10, leave the 3 possibly in the center of the table, banking it 3 rails out. He can also bank the 3 ball softly to the short rail with left and stick him behind the 8. The short version instead of the long distance one.
That's why I said if he calls a 3 ball bank and just in case it goes in, he could stick the cue ball behind the 8 and try to come short and leave the 3 by the top rail. Just like that.
And I think that 8 ball is perfectly in between. Nice 2-way shot there from Cheng. He's opened up the biggest problem in this rack and or biggest challenge in this rack. It's not always problems, it's how you address them. Yap in a little trouble here. Not saying he can't hit that 3 because the chances of him hitting the 3 are definitely there.
Only thing is that he has to hope if he hits underneath the 3 that the 3 will go past the 6. Boom.
Oh, and how?
They went past the 6, but he left him a shot.
Yeah, he's left him a great shot. If he makes his to the corner pocket, he can get perfectly straight on the 4.
So you're going to go zigzag or you're going to go 3 rails and try to go between the 6 and the 8? That's what he's looking at. He's saying, man, this is a pretty tough layout. It looks like that 6 was a big ball. Yeah.
I'm playing 3 rails forward, possibly 4 in between the 6 and the 8.
I always tell people when you're playing this shot, just try to make sure you hit it with enough spin to just avoid running into the 6. Looks like he might be going
left.
That's why I said, is he going to go zigzag or is he going to It's going to have to come dangerously close. Dangerously
and
close. He hit the point. He hit the point. He hit the point and caught a jelly roll. And sometimes that's what you need to win.
Yeah,
you're going to get dangerously close.
That 4-ball was so close to the long rail that the draw on the cue ball doesn't grab.
Mm-hmm.
So that's to where the angle, he couldn't really make it bigger than he just played. And apparently he's only shooting at this pocket like it only fits one truck.
Yep. One Mack truck.
Ooh,
he jumped up. Yeah, wow. I'm not used to seeing that from him.
You don't get to see that very often.
It's very rare. As a matter of fact, that might be the highest I've ever seen him jump. Well, I don't even know if I ever seen him jump.
But he got nice on the 6. He can play low right. Still draw along the rail.
I might go 2 rails here, Tim. I don't know if he can draw low. It all depends on how thick he can hit the ball. What do you think?
Thick with a lot of spin. No, he was playing 2 rails.
No.
No.
He hit that side of the 10. If he hits the other side of the 10, there's always a possibility of the 10 stopping in front of the 7 in the cue ball.
Yeah, and now it's looking like we might go to the shootout. The famous shootout.
Yeah.
And I expect the whole building to get here. I mean, there's a bunch of people here already. They're loving it.
Even he's got us sweating it. I mean, look, even there he came a little short.
Yeah, he's laughing too. He is feeling the pressure.
It's pretty strong. Down 3-1, come back tied 3-3, and possibly take the. It's not easy.
No, especially in how he lost that first set. 10 seconds left. Is he playing low right? Yeah, like this. Oh, he played this perfectly. Look at this for a cue ball.
Man.
Listen, this is so tough. There's so many people that would draw this straight in the corner.
Yeah.
He played this absolutely brilliant. We're going to a shootout. Absolutely amazing stuff from Chang in the second set to still win that. Wow.
That was perfection right there.
Yeah, and players are really wanting to leave the arena. Here we have the graphic for the shootout. So
it's 4 innings, alternate sides. The high score wins. They're going to go for a break. The player that won the lag gets to pick which side they would like to shoot from first, the left or the right. And after 4 innings, if there is still a tie, we end up going to a sudden death.
Okay. Well,
we're going to go to a 2-minute break, and we will be right back.
they start from. And both players very capable. I mean, I would say this is going sudden death. I mean, I think this match is made to go sudden death. Here we have Jasmine Ocean will be the commentator in the next match, the final of the women's event, together with Mark White.
And then you and I will be back for the men's final.
Yeah, can't wait already. So,
between Robbie Capito and the winner of this shootout.
Yeah, so Aloysius is starting from the right side. Likes to start to put some pressure on Chang. And he makes the first one. 1-0 for Aloysius Yap, all the way from Singapore. Yeah, and you know, I've seen Chang shoot this shootout. Like, he's strong, and I know how he handles the pressure well. But we're still using the 30-second shot clock here. So, you know, last match with Federer, he was really like using his time, like stepping in twice or 3 times to make sure he was right. He doesn't have all the time to do it here.
He does not, and I think it's important that he knows that. I would imagine he knows that.
Oh, something happened in the crowd there. Someone was calling on the side. Got a little distracted. Chang Yun-Lin shooting here. And he makes it.
Very nice.
1 each. Nice execution. Like, I always try to gauge on how they are feeling the pressure by how they execute the shot. But both looked comfortable in this
Very
first
comfortable.
inning.
And again, we have the classic follow versus draw spot shot.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I really like to play it center ball and just play with a comfortable speed.
Yeah.
But they might have convinced me to start playing low right.
I'm actually thinking about it myself.
Really, because just you can shoot as hard as you want, and yeah, force it in. So Aloysius upcoming here, second inning. He shoots, and he makes it.
Very nice. You know, only difference is, Tim, that when you get to the sudden death spot, it makes it a little more difficult to shoot it with draw. I've seen Carlo Bialo shoot that 100 miles an hour. We're going to come like close to the corner pocket, the opposite corner pocket. I don't think they're going to scratch, but still.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of practice hours. This does look easy, but believe it or not, it's extremely difficult. They're playing for a difference of $4,000 here. And a spot in the final to have a shot at $20,000.
Yeah. They're basically shooting a spot shot for $4,000 or $9,000. That's the difference between first and second.
Oh, and he jabbed that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He was a little quick in the backswing.
He did.
And
that's a shocker there.
Yeah, so Yap has the advantage here. And if Yap makes this one, Chang cannot miss another one anymore. He needs to pray for the pool gods to make something happen.
Yep.
Very unexpected miss, actually.
Well, that's the thing. They both played so well up to this point. You just kind of don't really expect them to miss it. But at some point, someone has to.
There we go. Aloysius Yap. And he makes it.
He's been hitting it nicely to the center of the pocket.
Yeah, nice comfortable speed as well. He's up 3-1, and Chang cannot miss another shot no more, and he needs to pray for
a Yap miss.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure If Aloysius wins this match, he'll be super excited to be able to have the opportunity to defend his championship, as he is the defending champion of the Michigan Open.
Yeah, an all-Asian final in the making here. So there we go, Cheng Yun-lin shooting here. Needs to make this ball or it's over. He makes it. Now goes back to Aloysius. If Aloysius makes this, he's in the final. And if he doesn't make it, then Cheng could shoot himself back into the shootout.
And this is where sometimes the pressure aspect of it can get to you.
Yeah, you know you can finish it here.
Mm-hmm. I went through it yesterday with Federer.
Yeah.
I missed a spot shot to beat Federer.
Aloysius Yap for a spot in the final. And it goes
nice.
in. Great match there. Absolutely amazing. He's over the moon. You can see it.
Yeah, you can tell he's containing himself.
There was quite some pressure on that. He wins the shootout 4-2 over Cheng Yun-lin from Chinese Taipei. And
up next is a final of the women's event between what's the name of the lovely young lady that beat Alison Fisher? Wei.
Wei.
She's going to be playing
and Kelly Fisher
in the finals.
Yeah.
So Jasmine Ocean will be here with Mark White, and then you and I will be here for the final 5 p.m. with Yap and Mr. Robbie Capito.
Yeah, make sure you tune in soon. I guess we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay tuned. Thank you, guys.
From the AccuStats Arena at Caesars, Southern Indiana, welcome to the 2022 Derby City Classic and the All-Around Pocket Billiards Championship. Thank you. Very good, thanks. Pool's most exciting event is being sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, by Simonis Cloth, and by Aramuth Pool Balls. We also want to express our appreciation to OBQs, Master Chalk, and Outsville for their contributions, and our tireless and great tournament direction staff from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. We're in our 12th year here at the Caesars Southern Indiana hosting us, and we thank them for being such great partners throughout all this time. And our DCC extended family has grown worldwide. All of you out there watching, whether you're at home or you're here ringside, we appreciate what you've done to help make this the most popular and prestigious event on the pro calendar. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, we are back to bank pool. Let me explain where we are and how we got here. 370 players began the bank pool division several days ago. There are 4 players left. The 2 that are going to play in front of you right now. On the outer table, we have the other 2 competitors. That's Fedor Gorst. He's playing Tony Chohan. Mr. Gorst has a rebuy. Nobody else does. We're going to have another match at 7, another one at 9. So stay with us. Let's see who comes through. With that being said, my honor now to introduce our 2 competitors. From Toronto, Canada, he's the 2012 Derby City Bank Pool champion, going for number 2, sponsored by Predator and Enviro Assessments, one of the greats of our game. Please welcome Mr. Smooth, John Mora. His opponent from Glasgow, Scotland. He just recently won his 7th Turning Stone event. I think he's only played in 8 or 9 of them. So he has a pretty good record up there. And speaking of records, it wasn't just a short time ago that he eclipsed John Schmidt's 626 by running 714 balls in straight pool, a world record, ladies and gentlemen. Sponsored by Perry Hughes and Rasson Tables, it's Eagle Eye, Jason Shaw. Thank you very much. Good luck to you guys. Going to send it upstairs to the comm box now to Double J and Mark Wilson. Take it away, guys.
Truly terrific to have world-class banks to present to the greatest pool fans in the world. Eagle Eye versus Mr. Smooth. My name is Mark Wilson. Here alongside me is the very best pool analyst ever, Jeremy Jones.
Thanks, Mark. And I don't know about that, but these guys a lot of times make it easy. You can depend on their execution and their incredible brains. And good to see these, normally after they start playing, the best 9-ball players in the world become the best bank players because banks is all about a pure stroke and straight shooting, right? They figure out the shots quickly and they figure out all the different banks quickly just because all the players are so intertwined. 4 years ago, maybe, something like that, maybe a hair longer.
Yeah.
And then Jason Shaw, who grew up as a right-hander but just started playing pool, Q Sports lefty, and good thing he stuck with it, it looks like, huh?
Right. Yeah. I've never seen anything like it where somebody has returned to be pro stature. Here he is in the top 4 of the bank pool event. He won this as a right-hander. Right?
Yeah.
Now he's coming back. He top 4 as a left-hander.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it.
Well, I think if he wins it, it probably gets a new nickname for Mr. Smooth to something else that's pretty creative and applies. I don't think you're going to see a real duck game with these 2. Sorry, Mark, I think I cut you off there.
No problem.
I played I played John. I actually played him shortly after he won that tournament. I played him some banks, and I played him some one pocket. And, of course, he's just a very, very aggressive player, and there's good reason why. It's just because the skills he has. And this guy here who, has got his picture all over this place in different places for the Bigfoot and whatnot. And just as Kenny just opened up and said, Mr. 714 is applied right now. So just 9-ball is not just his game. Jason can play it all. And I'll tell you another one that he's deceiving like Sky. They're very good instincts for one pocket. Not only all that firepower, but great cue ball. Doesn't know all the shots, but for some reason tends to shoot the ball in the right direction a lot, which is huge. It's interesting. He didn't try to move that ball up table at all. Maybe trying to make it hard for John to move it up table. I think you got to keep it simple here. Maybe just shave the 3 down to the bottom rail, trying to contain the cue ball off of the cross side bank. On the 4. I think I would go the other way, Mark. I think I would go the other way with the cue ball here.
I guess he's going to snake it off the end rail, side rail, and keep it down here.
With inside?
That's what I was thinking. Ooh.
Oh, drawing it over, yeah.
I thought he was going to go off the end rail to take any. Whoa. He wasn't afraid of possibly scratching there.
Yeah. And the reason why he did that is to get it further over. You know, he tried to anyways, so. Now, percentage-wise, you're going to see these guys, once they get used to this table, they're going to realize that it's playing a little easier, the pocket size, right? Mm-hmm. So I think if, like, say there's a situation where the score is very lopsided in a game, you're going to see the guys maybe go for a ball knowing they can get back in the game if they bury one big one that they may not normally shoot at, Mark, because of the table. And now, how do you escape? This is the part of the game that becomes tricky. How do you chip the ball and run the cue ball back safe up table where he's standing without hitting another ball? Maybe off the 1, 2 rails, go between the 3-8.
Well, that entails quite a bit of danger, and sometimes you'll see, well, he's calling a bank, which that's sometimes a defensive play when you just play a bank that maybe the safety's just as hard anyway.
Oh,
so.
The 4? Okay, the 4 kind of goes. So he's trying to hold his ball off of the 6 and draw the cue ball back.
Yeah, good decision. That was primarily distance as opposed to offense. Effort sometimes will even slow roll down table and just tangle something up and make rather than take a risk of running the cue ball off the 1 ball between the 3 and 8, and then if you get a nick or something, it gets ugly.
Well, and I think we would have saw the same from Jason if he didn't have that bank he could screw the cue ball back off of. I think he would have rolled down maybe on top of the 5, just really guarding, right?
Right.
You'd like to run and get distance, but when you don't have that, you just got to inspect where to get the cue ball back, not to leave a shot. Now, this is super tough. I'm not sure what he's shooting at. Is it the 4 also?
Or the 6.
Yeah, the 6 looks tight.
Yeah, 4 ball.
Oh. Get out of here. And this is where the difference where John will really go pretty aggressive. Like, I mean, we could take anybody on the planet and nobody's the favorite to make that. And you see where he's leaving the cue ball, right?
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right there, he's got the 1, he's got the 8. I was watching him warm up for the 1 pocket match, and he was firing in cross sides like mad. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a bank pool tournament. But then you inform me, no, actually, it's 1 pocket. He's got bank pool later.
Yeah, trying to get used to this table. And that's why John makes deep runs, though, in this event. Not only talented, but he's going to take it on, put it on his own shoulders to try and do well. So he's going to take on tough shots. All right, he's got to soft draw this a little bit, I think. I mean, not super soft, but I don't think it's full blast. Yeah, nice shot.
Pretty. He just has a nice pace about his bank pool game, a nice delivery, the tempo, the rhythm.
Well, we talk about it all the time, but follow through, man. Really, it makes the ball hold its line well, and that's some English one way or another. This is the type of shot that, you know, if you talk to the bank players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the felt being pretty new, of course, the bank's the first tournament here. The long railers on the diamond are the ones that start off playing the easiest for the players, that really get a lot of slide out of the side rail. So just hitting that mark decently. Yeah, that one, I think that was tough with top English.
You can get hurt now playing that shot, too, because even though you have the lead, it's not a huge lead when the balls are open like this. He's sort of fortunate he didn't just absolutely sell out the easiest of cross sides.
I think I like the 3 better than
That's what
the
he's
9.
calling.
Okay. The 3, he's going to bring the cue ball back down for shape. There's no reason to play the safe here, I don't think, anyways. Is he going to the side rail here?
Yeah. Oh, you mean with the cue ball?
Yeah, with the cue ball.
That made it harder. Yeah.
I thought he just hit a high ball there. High ball, kind of medium speed. That's something you'll hear me say a lot when it comes to the banks. I've always found on the diamonds, especially with a newish felt, the medium really applies to 7 or 8 out of 10 shots. You get an occasional one you need a little more or a little less, but the 8 does go. Appears anyways.
The other point is that Shaw's decision with the cue ball is not played by the super high-level bank pool players because it takes away from the accuracy of the shot. So they just play topspin.
Yeah.
He was trying to play position, and they just run the cue ball and take care of the cue ball from scratching.
Okay, obviously he didn't have a shot there. So a lot of times when the guys can cue the ball like this on the long railer, they're going to shoot, whether it be the 5 or the 8. Again, this is just about medium. You really don't need much more than that.
Good shot.
Yeah.
Good shot. 3-2 now. More in front. This is a race to 5 banks and a race to 3 games.
Yeah, they're here, Mark, somewhere around there.
Yeah, this is going to be a high success rate. Didn't connect.
Yeah.
But you can see he hit it well.
And now he's got to fade a couple banks here, possibly. The 7 will cross here in a moment, most likely. If he gets this 9 down. Depends on how aggressive he wants to go with the cue ball. Looks to me, though, he can slow roll the bank, hold the cue ball, and if he misses, cover up the pocket to where he doesn't give up a bank. That's the play here. Just pinch it here a little bit. Well, he played it firm, so he was going downtown with the cue ball. Should just be the 3 knocked in here.
Yeah, he did try to wedge him on the pocket. I was wondering if he would go for that. Didn't quite get it.
No, the ball on the spot he'll be able to see for sure. He may be able to cross it up over. It's just, I don't know if it really makeable crossing it over, really. Yeah, so this is high left, trying to throw the bank back. Now, the problem with this, Mark, is if he's off the mark with the 3 ball,
yeah,
the cue ball is going to come 2 rails and give the lefty of Jason a nice 1 railer on the 9. That's kind of where the cue ball wants to go on this shot. So he's got to really kind of cover up that alley with the 3 if he misses it. Boy, he hit it sweet. Now, you see how the 3's covering up that alley kind of?
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah, that was a heady play there.
I was thinking you might kick this ball around, but you got to really know how you're going to lay it down, I'll tell you that. You could make the 7 and get him up behind the 9. That's not really guaranteeing you the best of it because there's a lot of little ticky shots there. And,
right.
Right. And the problem with that is you're putting one on the spot and there's one up table. So if you're the one that has to escape with the cue ball, not many places to go. All right, looks like he's decided to shoot this cross corner. Super thin, 100 miles an hour. Yeah, like that.
Boy.
And he's going to give up a duck unless that 3 freezes.
Quality effort. But like you said, the double kiss now turned out unfavorably.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to fire this one in and hold for the bank. As there's one thing to get on the heel, okay, meaning where you need 1. But with your opponent only needing 2, you don't have that big of an advantage. You know, so like right here, he didn't really hold for shape. So
the slippery cloth makes it hard to pinch this with inside spin.
Yes, it does. If he's near that rail, if he draws on the 3 up the rail, the 9 becomes a really nice shot. But my point is, when you need 2 and your opponent needs 1 or vice versa, it's kind of the first one to get a shot because the guys will play shape if they need 2. All right, nice effort there. Totally intended not to make the 9.
Yeah, there was no value in making the 9.
Yeah, and he's just got a slow bump the 9 ball here to the rail and let it just kind of get on top of the 7 a little bit. It's a little touchy, but
if he feels he can cross the 9. He can play it straight back.
Absolutely, he can. He's not going to kiss it, I don't think, at all. I think that 7's going to be okay. The type of shot I don't like to hit super hard myself. Like to be accurate. Yeah, I like that. Speed's nice.
The hand he got the 7 loose.
Yeah, and it's another reason why I think John maybe should have really looked at shape when he shot the 3, holding the ball on the rail for the 9. Just not really much of a lead there at 1 and 2 balls. Ooh, this is 1 rail with inside. Cue ball's not going to get up table as much as he thinks. He's trying to hit it with a high inside, like a 1 pocket shot mark, trying to get a little protection. Now he's looking at cross side. Now, the one thing about cross side is he can play it at a light speed, and that's a little protecting. Oh, heck with that light speed. Cue ball. Oh, wow.
Oh. I didn't think it was going to scratch till it fell in. I thought it was going to hit the end rail.
Yeah,
sure did.
Tables are slick because, I mean, he did put some speed on that, but he checked it to the side rail, end rail, and it still reversed all the way back down to the corner.
The template would be in order, but nevertheless, here we go.
I don't think I've seen it used out on the outer table, so.
Okay.
Wow, how you like that 9-ball break? Well, we're going to get a little bit of that today and a lot more of that throughout the week here from Jason Shaw.
Whoa, look at that. Couple cross sides here.
Yeah.
Shaw won the break contest last night.
And what was the clip?
Well, he was in, upper 20s, mid 20s, but Hillbilly had him beat, but Hillbilly's cue ball went on the floor once, so he scored 0.
Oh, Hillbilly was there.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just the Final Four of the Bigfoot
It was,
guys.
but we were short. Mika didn't appear.
Oh,
and so
okay.
Hillbilly got in there. Hillbilly, he took it to him. He beat everybody, but then his cue ball went on the floor once. But he hit some crushing breaks, 28 mile an hour.
Okay, he's worried about a little bit of a kissish kind of scratch thing here. He doesn't want to slow roll this bank. I think he just stunned towards the 3 here with the cue ball is what I see.
I agree.
I mean, it's going to be a fast stun. I can't believe he would pass the 2 up now. That is pretty amazing.
He's just
to me.
too accurate.
Well, I understand the 5, the long. I did tell you the long railers are the ones the guys like on these tables right now.
That gives you total cue ball control.
Yeah, and there was something about that 2 ball he wasn't too in love with. Most wouldn't have passed on that cross side. And now he's in a funny spot, really. Run the cue ball somehow. Oh, he's banking the 7. Wow. got to go up in the air with the cue here? This doesn't look like Top English will hold this bank up from this angle. It doesn't appear so anyways.
Well, the high velocity, he's going to bring the cue ball maybe down table.
Wow, he got it short. Get you some of that. And now a terrible kiss on the cue ball. This should cost him a few, yeah. You know, and there's probably, you know, no coincidence. I think the guys that are left are really bankers. They're not as so much the safety side of the game as much.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that more and more at the Derby as years and years go by. The talent level's so high. Plus, guys are going to realize these guys learn the defensive side quickly, and, you know, they want to stay aggressive.
You know, with Jason's shot, though, you're really kind of betting the game on that ball.
Yeah, I wasn't in love with that one.
Because the cue ball was stopped over there along the long rail. He was selling out something if he doesn't make it. Then he got double kissed down where left it much better, but pretty tough.
Right. He's got definitely choices, the 1 or the 5. The 5 looks maybe a little kissish, so it's going to be the 1. And here's all about making that first bank. Of course, you're not going to stop your ball. You got to play shape. Is he stunning forward for the 7, it looks like?
Yeah. Oh, he's backing it up. Where was he going, though? Oh, cross side on the 4.
I guess. But that's a tougher shot, I thought. But that was the one time John kind of, you know, hit at the ball, really. Don't see him do that. It really goes through the ball a lot. All right, 8 ball coming straight back at you.
Shaw filters the cue ball down the end rail, leaves himself a pretty makeable cross side on the 1.
Yeah, for me on the slick felt, really only make this at a slower pace. A lot of people think hard to tighten it up, but really it wants to bounce a little and go long like that when you shoot it with more speed. It's actually, you need to, just like we talk about with the cue ball, give it time to grab the English. You know what I mean? On the side rail, same thing with when you're wanting it to bite a little bit on this slick table. You got to maybe lighten it up a little bit on that one.
Spot on analysis. That's how Double J got to be the best in the business for providing good insights.
Yeah, lucky enough to be around all these great players.
We got up in Davenport, Iowa, Chris Castell tuned in. This is a live match, Chris.
He's elevating the cue here kind of awkwardly as well. Look how he's elevating here.
Most unusual.
What is this for? Straight back on the 7? That's the only thing I can imagine. Trying to beat a little kiss here. And John's got to tone it down a little bit here. I know that this race to 3, especially when you get behind, can get you a little anxious. Lucky the 7 may have gotten in the way there.
Well, lucky the 3. I mean, the 1 blocks the 3. It was just all up in the air, but you were leaving the cue ball right down there with all the banks available if there is one.
Again, lighter speed holds it up better. Yeah, like that. Not so hard. And if you ever want to learn how to hook the ball, right, the only way you can make the ball really effectively hook is with stun. Forward stun is the only way it hooks. If you try to draw the ball, you try to follow the ball, could get lucky occasionally and make it hook, but if you really want to learn how to bend the ball a little bit, it's always going to be stun there. Did you notice him with the light stun through the ball?
Well, you can even see how the cue ball just filtered forward. So there wasn't spin on there.
No. Took me a long time to figure out how to bend the ball. I was like, how do these guys do that? All right, is this a 4-0 lead now? Looks like it.
Yeah.
So now is the time to be aggressive, especially since he's got a nice one staring him in the face. Same thing as Jason, probably 7 out of 10, somewhere around there. Bank like this.
Oh, that went in there deep, but did not go. Cross side for game ball here on the 5. And just like that, Jason Shaw, 2-0 lead here.
Yeah, and there's so many points for the all-around. I mean, of course, first place really gets a lot more points. Well, not a lot more points. I mean, it's nice and relative, don't get me wrong, but what I'm getting at is whoever wins here is going to be a favorite in the all-around, I think, in my opinion, even though you could say Shaw and Federer aren't the one-pocket players, but you got to like Tony Shohan's position, don't you?
Yeah.
Final four of the one pocket. He's got no losses in the final four of the banks, no losses in the one pocket. Hey, and he told me he's 2-0 in his first 2 9-ball events of the year here in 2022. He's won them both. So
yeah. Well, he put on quite a show earlier, so we know he's playing good.
Yeah, and he's in a big match against Federer Gorst right now in this final four of the banks. Really had a lot of people show up for the 9-ball that was pretty excited to see. I was wondering about the field there for a little while. I knew it was always going to be quite a few, but had a lot come in that weren't here for the one pocket or the banks. Little spin on the cue ball, but he's not going to mind that.
Muscled the 1 ball into the side.
Yeah, he's got a nice cross side on the 2. Anytime it's real tight like that, pretty easy hit. Meaning you're not trying to make it spread much. It's a pretty tight angle here on the bank. He's going to look at the 5.
If he chooses the 5, it's not because it's so much easier but it's the cue ball control that he gets with it.
Yeah.
He's got to stiffen it up a little bit, looks like.
The 8's good cross corner as well. 8's not bad at all. Pretty big pocket. If the 5's funny at all, though, I don't shoot it. If it's any kind of fun. Yeah, exactly.
I think the 2 is go time.
Again, straight high ball. No side spin. No nothing. Avoid the 6. You're going to not hit the 6. Wow, he's really wanting to play it safe here. It was a great touch. But I think he had a huge advantage there. He's supposed to go ahead and shoot. Because the one thing in one pocket, right? Unless you're just beating the guy this particular way, I'm just ducking him to death, and he's giving me a lot of shots, right? Well, that's one thing. He's telling you how to beat him, right?
Yeah.
But don't think a 2-0 lead in games you're supposed to start protecting and become passive. That can quickly change in this race to 3. Don't think John Moore couldn't put 4 or 5 banks together a few times, and it's 2-2. So you still have to stay aggressive in the game, even though you have a 2-0 lead.
Pretty hard hit here.
Now, the one thing is just what I said. If you feel like John is shooting at a little too much, that'll tell you, hey, maybe I shouldn't shoot at so much because he's going to give me some easy opportunities. think he's desperately kind of looking for a long reller, Mark.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up with a 6 cross corner, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you ask most of the players, they'll tell you most of the cross corners and the cross sides have been more difficult than the long railers as a whole. This 2-ball, I don't think it banks cross side, not with the new conditions. Now, I would probably bank it cross corner for a safety. That's what I would probably do. Yeah.
That's what he's called. This is more of a speed shot.
Yeah, and he knows he's going to give up the 9, right? The cue ball's got to come across some. That's why he's elevating. He's trying desperately not to give up that 9. He's trying to keep the cue ball on that part of he didn't want to come all the way across. And a really good effort. The 3 does stiffen in probably, but no picnic. Another one, if you really jam it, the ball bounces a little bit, that being the 3, and it doesn't really want to hold up for you. Kind of spreads a little bit. Yeah, like that. He's just over-hitting the banks, Mark. And it always that feeling of, I need to stiff it. Oh, that means harder, and it really doesn't.
Right.
It just means like the break shot, that nice connection. Not so much a ton of speed.
He's looking at the 9. Is that what he's trying to see, or the 8?
8 maybe. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to settle on the 4-ball straight back where his hand is now.
Yeah, I like that, and it looks like to me he could cross the 9 over. I thought, but maybe not. The problem with that is he has to keep the cue ball on that end of the table if he plays that shot. He can't make it draw on it. It's going to come too tight.
And if he plays the 4, he's going into the 2. There's no avoiding that if you're going to make the 4.
Now he can play an easy safety if he doesn't like. There's no problems there. Looks like that's what he's going to do, run the cue ball here. Oh, he's made the 3. I don't know if he didn't get the cue ball very far either. So this is definitely going to tempt John into shooting. And, I wouldn't say this is terrible, the 4. I mean,
no, you can make a nice clean pass at it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you score this ball, you can do some serious damage. If you fail to connect, you can possibly lose the game too.
Yeah, cue ball's not coming back safe, that's for sure. I like to see that medium by John a little bit. I think he buries these. There you go. That was better stroke. That was better timing there.
Pretty shot.
He's got the 2-ball. He's got the 8-ball. He's got the 3. The 3 is probably the last choice. That's the speed on most of the banks, Mark. You'll find certain guys that'll amp it up and stay real accurate.
But it was a super long hesitation at the end of the backswing there. It was almost like he lost his rhythm or something. Most unusual.
Yeah, this 8-ball might squeeze by, too, in the corner. I mean, looks like to me it's got a chance to use the bottom rail to slide by. Maybe not. Maybe it's a little too tight to take that risk. But, I mean, where are you going with the cue ball if you play the 9? I mean, you're opening up the 5-ball bank, the 7-ball bank. You can't come back down table because the 2's there. Okay, so you're like saying to yourself, I'm making this. This is what's happening.
Right. No, you're betting that you make it.
Yeah. He wanted to end the match with that shot right there, folks.
Oh, boy, what a nice open offering here of banks that you have. You can play the 9 next pretty easily. It allows you to be super smooth on this 5. You don't have to do anything with the cue ball. Just A little bit of high left. Just make sure you get the 5 ball down.
Yeah, and it's almost like a little drill session here. They're set up over here for several cross corners and cross sides. He got right in between, huh?
Oh, he's disappointed too.
Yeah.
He can still play the 2.
Everything's funny, though. The 2's a little kissish. The 9's a cut. The 1, he's elevated. The 7, he's got to spin the heck out of the cue ball. The 8 now, the 3, long rail, those aren't bad. So he's got a shot really on every ball, just about. The one thing that's funny about Jason is he's played really cautious so far.
Yeah.
To go out with a bridge shot right there on the 9 with so many ducks looming, right? So 2 ball. Cue ball's going to be screaming up and down the table here.
Mr. Smooth feels like the kiss isn't the problem.
No, with a hair of right, he avoids it easily. Because you can cut this a little higher, too, and let it bleed downward on the new felt. The 2 ball. Oh, he did cut it high. Maybe too high. Oh, he got it down.
Good shot.
2.
Now he's got the 9.
Yeah.
9 ball, cross side.
Is it 3-1 in Banks?
Yes.
Okay.
Good shot there. Aggressive.
Yeah, forcing position there on the cue ball, and he's gotten pretty much perfect.
Game ball. Oh, nice shot. Well done, John Moore. Just that one shot, like he got all the way to the end of his backswing and just held there. Did you notice?
Yeah, he's got a pretty defined pause in the back for the most part. Maybe a little quick with the backswing, which is not something he does very often. So maybe we saw a little longer pause because of that. I don't know, but you're always going to find the guys with the extremely slow backswings. They almost have to have a pause in the back.
I remember being under pressure one time. It was game ball, and I got nervous. I got back up, and then I got back down, and I did all my preps, and I thought it was good. But I couldn't make myself start the backswing. I was so scared.
I was talking to a guy today, actually, about Michael Coltrane a little bit, and I was thinking about you. I was there for that match y'all played in Nashville when you beat him there in the Camel Pro Billiard Series. Never forget that 9-ball match. I don't know if you remember it or not. It was Hill. That was a crazy match.
I would have remembered it if I lost it.
No, you won it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was in '99, I believe it was. Now John does still break him righty. John, very left-eye dominant. Had a little something to do with his issues, right? To where his cue stick and his neck and everything. I feel the pain. I go to the chiropractor a lot. He says it has a little bit to do with pool. I'm the same, very left-eye dominant. So my neck is in a little funny position. And now he's got to go for this cross corner on the 8, I believe. He's got a long railer on the 5 that he's facing pretty good, but he's jacked up on the 7. He's a little cue and funny on the 9. This one sits pretty perfect. Just stay thick on the hit.
Just a little inside spin to avoid any potential double collision.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he makes this, he's going to be right down there in the Ule.
Yeah. Depending on his speed, probably gets a cross side on the 5, maybe gets a cross corner on the 9, depending on the speed. Like I said, though, stay thick on it. The overcut here is the miss. And he did. Nice shot.
Gorgeous.
Now he's got that 5 ball. He's got the 9 cross corner.
After you score it, then you always wish for just 2 more inches on the cue ball would have made it so much better, you know. But then you're happy and relieved that you made the ball. So glad to be at the table, of course.
Yeah, and I don't know if I would have been as aggressive as Jason was with the bridge. I certainly wouldn't have because I'm not that great with the bridge, but I do think he does have to stay aggressive. Don't let that 2-0 lead. That's what I commented on earlier. That's not really – I mean, it's a great lead. It's the biggest lead you could have in games, but it's still not a big lead in this game of banks and a race to 3 9-ball banks. He's playing shape, folks. He's not fooling around. He's coming with the cue ball. That's John's style. So they got him a title here in 2012, and now 10 years later, is trying to get him another one. Goes. It looks like to me with a little bit of outside spin, he can hit the 2 pretty much in the face and throw it in. Don't see why you would shoot anything else. The 9's pretty good too, though. But I mean, if the 3's not in play, okay, I'd like to see him do something with the rack here, or keep the cue ball down here for position. He's just too good of a banker. Yeah, he's like, how do I go through between those balls? Now he's got a nice cross on the 7. No reason to get crazy now. Another one, Mark, you'll see on the slick table. Stay thick. Yeah, nice shot.
Eagle eye. Raining them from down on the table.
Don't think he has the 5 here.
No.
He's got an awfully thin hit on the 1 to run the cue ball. Shouldn't be a problem for Jason. I mean, that's edging the ball, definitely something he does well. Problem is, if he doesn't get the cue ball to the rail here, John's probably going to have a straight back on the 5 maybe, or something else that he's going to be aggressive. Now, the 1 came off and had a nice kiss there on the 5, and I'm not sure he left him anything.
That's a pretty good result from where he was at. I'm sure he's happy with it. And there is a possibility he could manufacture a bank shot here, but it's nothing going to be routine.
No, I mean, it looks like technically the 3 will bank between the 1-5, you know, cutting it back and straightening it out. Don't think it's one he wants to shoot at the moment, though. I think it's a lot of cue ball here, running safe. Might pocket the 2 in the corner by the 5 and run the cue ball. Thing is, you want to get the cue ball deep to the right side of the table. That right corner we're looking at right now, just to Jason's left. That way, running the cue ball is very difficult. You don't have the edge of the 4 to run the cue ball off of. So I would try to put some spin on this and try and get to this corner myself. And he's going over here. And the thing is, are you worried about a bank giving up if you bring the cue ball closer to this corner I was talking about?
I think the scratch is as much of it, too.
Yeah, I guess.
He doesn't want to scratch in that corner. And this is an off-angle straight back 6, so that comes with a penalty if you miss.
Yeah, but he's going to bring the cue ball somewhere tidy. Towards the 2-4 maybe. That's normally what you would do here, stun towards the 2-4. That way, to, to slow the cue ball down. Is the 6 going to cover up the long railers? I think the 3 definitely banks. Oh, he's cueing it. He's not following his ball. He's stunning forward, so this will be shot at. Watch out for the 3.
That could have turned out a little worse.
Yeah.
This is going to cross over the 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to trickle it over now.
Close range.
Yeah, this type of shot, just make sure you're not losing the cue ball. I mean, you're not a real favorite to make it. You do make it probably 30 or 40% of the time, maybe on the slick table here. Oh, sweet hit there. Sweet hit there.
Really good shot.
And he'll bring the 6 one rail back. He practiced this shot quite often and warming up for the 1 pocket and for the banks. Unless there's something else I'm not seeing. Is he going to cross the 1 instead?
Well, I don't know. But one thing he learned earlier was that this really spreads open off this slippery cloth.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of think the 6 is a much more makeable bank, in my opinion. Maybe not quite as safe, but this could catch the 6 with the cue ball, so watch out. Got to cut the heck out of this. Oh, he hit it sweet. Sweet.
Oh, boy.
And that's what I was telling you about, Mark. Whenever you stroke the ball and the timing is so good. See how well the 1 came off the rail and held the line right there? It didn't spread downward so bad, right? When the strokes were, as real pure, the ball holds the line. Like Billy Thorpe, for instance. Watch him whenever he's slow rolling a bank on these slick tables. Everyone thinks it's going to spread long, and it'll just roll right on its line. What a bank by John there. Yeah, John's come to play.
Good stuff here. Cross the corner on the 5.
Yeah.
Might not be as easy as I was just describing, because maybe there is a double kiss at this.
No, high left, he doesn't double kiss it, and he gets to hit it thick enough to bounce by the 4 and then back up table. He should be fine here. Shouldn't have any problems. Now, if the English doesn't take, watch out for the 1 rail scratch in the corner. That's the only thing I may worry about a little bit. All right, cue ball's coming near that corner, but it's okay. Great shooting there by John Mora.
Right, now he's got a ball hung up. He's on the hill.
Yeah, now he'll cue downward on the, he's going with a high ball. Okay, so he could leave some type of tricky bank on the 4 here for John. Not sure he will, but he may leave a 1 on the side, or, he did pretty well with the cue ball, it looks like. John will just ticky and leave him here by the 4. He may, if he can see the 6, he'll shoot. Can you see the 6? Otherwise, you just ticky the 4 and leave him there. Make him have to escape with the cue ball a little more. Let him see the 6. I think I put it the 5 in play right now. I like where the 6 is at. I put the 5 in play, come 1, 2 rails to the end rail, leave him really off angle on the 4. Can't really shoot the 6 because it's a scratch long rail, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I put the 5 in play, needing them all right now.
Yeah.
Unless he could hit it that sweet, I guess. But
Gorgeous shot.
Really nice. Can he cross the 4 over towards the 5 gently? I guess not. How old is John now?
Well, you caught me.
Yeah. Caught you without your book, huh?
Yeah.
All right, going rail first. Going to pocket the 5, obviously, but cue ball speed to the rails, super important. Jason's going to shoot at this. Just can cue it too nicely. And a lot of people would say, no, put the 4 in play, and I understand that. A lot of time, well, he's going to put the 4 in play. Okay, that's good discipline.
You get the cue ball in the center of the table, and it makes it harder to play defense from.
Absolutely. I played Nick Varner. Talk about Nick. I put him in that spot, and he wouldn't even shoot. He just tapped the cue ball and put one up. He wouldn't even try to clip the ball and run the ball. Huh. Now, it was deep in the tournament at one point, but
yeah,
he's not one to give up a shot, that's for sure.
Sometimes it'd be late at night. We'll be in bed. He'd say, hey, you think we ought to go hit some balls? And I said, well, yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm kind of tired. Yeah, but we don't want to get rusty. That's how much he loves pool.
Yeah, that guy's timeless. All right, still same pressure situation. Even though you need 1, your opponent needs 2. It's pretty much even money. That's the shot I was talking about earlier, where they group back together, hopefully not leaving too much. But what the deal is if Jason makes one, he's playing shape. So it's not a whole lot of, not too much of a favorite here for John, just like Jason in that one situation a game or two ago.
Well, this is as favorable as it could have turned out for Mora, so you're just going to have to take your medicine here. If the guy makes it, shake his hand, not even worry about it. Yeah, what a shot.
It's like when he wants to put a little more time and concentrate, like put a little more time in before the shot, he gets even better, doesn't he? Seems like. There it is.
Oh, wow.
There it is. John Moore, we're going to lose him in the 4th place finish, or it might be tied for 3rd. We'll see how that other match goes. But Jason Shaw still moving along.
Well, we'll be back with some more action. This has been Elite Class Pool, brought to you by AccuStats, the worldwide leader in billiards programming. That's our time for this time. So long for just a while.
From the Accustats Arena at Caesars, Southern Indiana, welcome to the 2022 Derby City Classic and the All-Around Pocket Billiards Championship. Thank you. Thank you. Pool's most exciting event is sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, by Simonis Cloth, and by Aramis Belgian Billiard Balls. We'd also like to express our thanks to OBQs, Master Chalk, and Outsville for their contributions, and also, lastly, recognizing our great tournament direction team from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. This is our 12th year here at the Caesars Southern Indiana, and we want to express our gratitude to them for being such great hosts and partners along the way. You know, our extended Derby City family now goes around the world, as we can see by the players that have assembled here, as well as all of our great spectators. Whether you're here, ringside, or watching at home or anywhere else around the world, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for making the Derby City Classic the most prestigious and popular event in professional pool. Thank you very much. We're in the bank pool semifinals. Here's a very quick recap. 370 players began. There are 3 players left. None of them have a rebuy. The player that got the bye, waiting for the winner of this match, is Fedor Gorst. He will play in the championship against the winner of this match at 9 o'clock tonight. Let's find out who it's going to be. From New Orleans, this gentleman's a U.S. Open one-pocket champion. He's sponsored by Game Tight Clothing and Buffalo Billiards. We know him as T-Rex. Please welcome Tony Chohan. His opponent from Glasgow, Scotland. He's a U.S. Open 9-ball champion. He also has a world record that I think everybody now knows about. We'll talk more about that later in the evening. Sponsored by Perry Hughes, Kamui, and Rasson Tables. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Eagle Eye, Jason Shaw. Okay, here we go. At this time, it's my honor to send it upstairs to the commentary box. To Double J, Jeremy Jones, and to 8-time Hall of Famer in 5 different disciplines, Nick Varner. Take it away upstairs, gentlemen.
Well, thank you, Kenny, and welcome everyone to the 2022 Derby City Classic semifinal of the Bank Division. We've completed one event with the Bigfoot Challenge. They bring the 9-foot in here for the Banks, 1-pocket and 9-ball. And like Kenny said, a special guest, the Kentucky Colonel and Hall of Famer Nick Varner. What do you think, Nick?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. This ought to be a fabulous match. Just don't anybody that's watching this at home go to the bathroom. You'll have to miss a whole match.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, this the Banks is like the epitome of the fast and loose a lot of times, especially when they seem to get into this table here. This table is kind of appetizing for offense, don't you think?
Yeah, just a little softer where they can afford to gamble a little bit more on those long railers.
Yeah, and what I see are comebacks in games more. You know, like when guys get their back against the wall with the score, they tend to see one that they can see some future with, right, and take a little more chance. The break should be no problem. It's just all about the cue ball.
Well, if you get a chance to play one of those banks you're behind where you can hit that object ball close to the middle and you can stick and you got some other balls to play, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah. It's one of the sickest ways to get beat. You know, when it's Tony Fargo's done it to me twice here where I had him like 2-1 and dead, and he just jacked up off the end rail and I never shot again. With him stopping the ball for shape, and it's one of the most exciting things to watch as well. Now the guys think these are kind of like they're always taking this long railer on the slidey table, right, Nick?
Yeah, you don't duck on this one. Well, of course, you just make sure you make it. But yeah, you could tell the way that ball went in. It's pretty generous with that cloth.
Yeah, and his stroke.
He caught quite a bit of rail there.
Oh, yeah.
That long rail.
And that's a tight angle, you know what I mean? But the one thing that I've always found here at the Derby when I've played my best bank is like most shots are like that medium aggressive speed. Not overly hard, but definitely not babying them. You know, a little bit of speed on there.
Yeah, he hit that. I like the speed he hit that bank, and he's got a pretty good bank here.
Yeah. And dressing up on the 6, it looks like.
Yeah, he could run 5 and out here. Depends on where he falls after the 6.
I kind of like stunning this one behind the 5 myself. Yeah, he drew it a little bit. I didn't know if he'd get shaped that way. I thought he might stun behind and either get the 3 cross side, maybe the 8 cross side.
Well, he's got a pretty, except he might be jacked up a little. That one ball, he's laying pretty good on the 1, but he can't see all the cue ball. That's going to complicate it a little. But one good thing about it, he's not going to leave anything easy here, I don't think, if he don't make the 1.
Plus, you'd want a little the right side of the cue ball, if anything, on the 1. He's taking on the 4.
On the 4.
Yeah, this one should be somewhat light. Yeah, he's in stroke.
Wow.
And he disregarded the shape. And, you know, the thing is, right, I really kind of said it in the last match, and I still feel this, that no lead is really that great here. And not only just in ball count, but in game count. You know, you can get up 2-0 and think you can start to play a little tighter, and it's not really the case, I don't think. I don't think you can let up on the gas too much.
No, you can't, because I lost one year here. I was pretty deep at the end, and I thought I pretty well had the match. I was leading 2-0 and 3-0, and the guy made a 3-railer up and down that I didn't even know was possible, because I was really protecting those 3 balls. Now, I didn't even know that ball go. He made that, and after that, I never seen any banks.
Yeah. Well, I was commenting.
That was Larry Neville.
Yeah. Well, that's a guy that can do it to you. That's, ooh, wow. Awful kiss on the cue ball. And he broke great in his last match, making balls just a bad kiss. And I gave Mark a little taste of, there was a situation with 2 balls on the spot in the last match. And the cue ball was in the middle of the end rail. One guy needed 1, one guy needed 2. And I told him I played Nick Varner to where he doesn't even shoot away here. He just taps the cue ball here and spots another ball.
Yeah.
Even playing banks, which is hard for a lot of guys to do, playing banks. One pocket, it's one thing, but banks is different.
You're not a kid. Those points on those sides are huge.
Yeah. Well, Diamond's always been known to have some of the toughest side pockets, that's for sure. And this may not be bad for Tony. Now, he's going offensive. I thought he might duck and try to slow the game down a little bit. Because you got to believe that Tony probably is a little edge when it comes to making, like, you know, 1 and safe kind of plays, right? Over, you know, if they both have to get to where they're kind of banking at 1 and playing safe, you got to think with Tony's 1 pocket, he's probably a little favorite in that spot, right?
Yeah, but he don't play very tight 1 pocket. I mean,
I know. You're right. That's why we got you in here, Nick. Good point. 4 cross corner looks pretty nice. I know the cross corners are the ones that.
Can he hold this with this? I guess he can. He's
this
shooting
looks
at
like
it.
It's going short to me, though. Oh, yeah, like that. And that's what it looked like all day on that one. That looked pretty tough to me.
Yeah, plus he gave up a lot here on this 8.
Yeah, I think the 1
here.
first. I think he's going to bank the 1
Oh,
first.
the 1 first?
Yeah. The 8's, I'm not saying a kiss, but you got to, oh, wow. So Tony's got to get used to the table.
One thing you learn after playing a lot of bank pools, there's not one that you can't miss. You think, oh, this is dead, I got this, and then you hit that chart just like Tony did there. There's no such thing as one you'd want to bet your life on. I know that. I don't care if you get to play them with your hand.
It's the most streaky game. Like if you play like not, you know, tournament pool, you don't play long enough matches really to see it. But if you play, you know, some side matches or whatever, I've never had the biggest streaks and swings and banks like I have any other game. I mean, more in banks than any other game by far. And not only like wins and losses, but like, you know, you become unconscious sometimes banking them, like you don't miss anything. Doesn't matter what it is. And then sometimes, like you said, a simple cross side can look like you're shooting at a thimble.
Well, just take ball in hand like on a spot shot.
Yeah.
I mean, not a spot shot, but like that 2-ball there on the spot. Just take ball in hand any place you want and play that cross side.
Yeah.
That's no gimme.
Yeah, absolutely. There's certain players that make it seem that way sometimes. Brumback, I tell you, when he had a spell years here to where anytime you scratched, he was making that ball off the spot with ball in hand on the long rail.
Yeah. Experience over the years, the long railers, you're better off leaving them across side.
Especially, with Brumback, you mean, yeah.
Or any of those great bankers.
Especially here, the way the tables play, it seems like to me. They really, like there was some players were commenting about the guy we're going to see in the next match, Feder Gorst. You're better off leaving him cross corners, cross sides than long railers, so.
Yeah, where are all my buddies from Kentucky? You got a guy from Russia, a guy from Scotland, and a guy from California.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what Banks is? It's all, it's stroke, first off. You never ever catch a great bank player that doesn't have a good stroke. So these great 9-ball players have great strokes. They're just going to figure out the game and get better and better. That's the speed I like right there, just to miss the mark.
Yeah, that was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I watched the entire run. He run 7:14, and, man, I was amazed what a great touch and feel he's got. I would have thought he'd be one of those guys that hits the back of the pocket, but he's really not. He hits them a nice medium to soft speed. He's got a great feel for that cue ball, too, for where it's going.
Yeah, and he's, the guy he reminds me of, and maybe no coincidence, they're both lefties. But he has all the power in the world, too, but as a Rodney Morris when Rodney really was in the stroke. Jason plays these unorthodox safeties sometimes that are all just skill-based, like talent-based, which Rodney used to do and kind of baffle you a little bit when he'd win those tournaments back in the mid and late 90s, Reminds me of that guy a lot. Little different stroke, of course.
It is something. Lefties
nice shot.
It always amazes me how good lefties look at the table, don't it? They look like they can play as soon as they take their stance.
Yeah, it's like they're going to strike the cue ball perfect every time.
Mesa, Seago, I've looked at them guys from my chair so many times.
Matlock comes to mind, too, a guy that looks real crisp at the table as a lefty. Well, Mizrak, in my mind, I don't think I've ever seen a better stroke. And don't take that personal, any of y'all, but the bridge and the stroke, I don't think I've ever seen a better bridge, closed bridge, and I don't think I've ever seen a better stroke myself.
No, I think I don't know why, but, man, when I watched him play, he put me in stroke just watching him from the chair. He got through that white ball so good.
Oh, man.
It was, I agree with you 100% on his stroke. It was incredible.
Look at the behind the back. Tony starting to feel a little good, and don't think that doesn't matter. Tony feels good. He's a tough hombre. Behind the back there, Nick.
Yeah, for the long railer, and then missed that one.
Yeah.
How's that figure, huh?
Yeah, like you said. You can't think you ever have it.
I don't know if the 6 stretches.
No, but the 4, 4 is pretty decent as long as you don't overhit it. You overhit it, goes long on this table. It's just not going to bite.
I think I'd have to play the 4 here. Which one you like? The 4?
I like the 4 better myself. The 2 does cross at a lighter speed. Maybe the 7 does. Oh, if he can get at the 7's definitely the shot.
No, I don't think he can get to that one.
He passed on this one earlier.
I like this one.
Yeah.
I know this goes.
And that's the speed. If you overhit it, it hops a little, and it really goes long on this slick table.
Well, it gets away from you both ways, short and long.
Yeah. Okay. He's going to kill this maybe. He's got to watch out for the cue ball a little bit. Good thing is, only ball you can really give up is the 6 here, it looks like. That's the only ball you got to worry about, which is a worry.
Yeah, it sure is. I wouldn't want Shannon Dalton shooting at this one.
Yeah. Talked about him the other day. Man, what a player.
If I had him in the middle of that short rail there, I froze on the rail, then I wouldn't be so worried. But out here where he can bridge on this ball, this is laying pretty good. But he don't like it. He likes something else. I guess that 1, he might think that 1.
The 2 ball straight back?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he's trying to cross it.
Yeah, he was, and kill the cue ball.
I like the 6 here, cross corner.
It looks like it's not a kiss with just stun, and it should turn right over. You know what I mean? I totally agree. On this table right here, again, as long as you don't overhit it, little downward hit on the cue ball. I don't think he sees it. He's just assuming it's not a play.
He thinks it's a kiss, maybe.
Right.
Because he ain't even looked at it.
If he goes and looks behind the cue ball, behind the cue ball at the 6, he'll realize it's not a kiss.
Well, if it's close, you just put a little left on the cue ball, and that'll take it away from it more.
I don't think you can kiss it. Look how much further away the 6 is from the side rail than the 6 is from the bottom rail. That's a hard 1-2 kiss.
Oh,
Never
wow.
mind. Never mind.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm up here in the booth.
Yeah, but I was looking around. You got your picture on some banners. Don't worry. You're always here, Nick. All 9 days of the event. Okay.
Well, I love the banks in the 1 pocket. I come every year for that. Try to catch you into the banks and into the 1 pocket.
Yeah, and this is a big shot here. This one here with a 1-0 lead. He trails by a ball. It's the type, even if he hits it good, even on this table, he could bobble it. Oh, he cut it too much. So he's going to give up something probably. Yeah, did okay.
Yeah, he might have left something, but Tony's going to have to earn it here.
Yeah, nothing.
I kind of like playing either the 7 cross side or the, yeah, I sure don't like the 6 from here.
No, I would double bank the 2 before I bank the 6.
Yeah.
I think I like the 7 the best, though, like you said.
You might be able to spin this 2 in cross corner.
He can. It'll spread straight English, I think. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
And Tony's like one of the best at those shots, by the way. He really sees them well.
This, see.
I mean,
What's
either
the
way.
ball count here?
He needs 1, Tony.
Tony needs 1.
Yeah, I think the 6 is the shot. I mean, you got to avoid the 1, of course, but you got to do that with the 7 also. I think the 6 lays a little better.
I like the speed he hit that. That's the speed I would have hit it. He didn't make it, but that's the speed I like here because he might be able to make that 7, but boy, that 1's kind of blocking part of that path.
Yeah, and this is super touchy. He's got to really give up the cue ball with a lot of spin if he's going to pass the 7, I think. I think he's got to put some inside on it. And looking at the overhead, which we have the advantage of, he can definitely cross it, but he needs a little inside.
I think all he can do here is cross it and just roll it so he gets back for another shot. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm not used to seeing that shot.
Well, I guess you just make the 1. Well, this cue ball's gotten funny. Can he make the 1 and bring him down, or is the 6 easy to make with the cue ball right now?
He might go rail first and hit a full.
Double kiss it, maybe? Lay on top of it?
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to. That'll work.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Because Tony can't afford to try to knock anything in, because if he does, then there's going to be 2 balls on the spot, and he's going to be in the jackpot. A lot of people think they're stealing here because there's 2 balls in the hole, but boy, if you don't want to knock one in if you're ahead. Now, Jason's on the opposite. He wants to knock them in if he can lay it tough enough where he can't make the bank. But I've done this when I was learning to play bank a million times.
Look at this.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
The corner hooked him.
That's cold. Shouldn't be allowed almost.
Wow.
What a shot. So we're going to back it up a little bit here, I think. Tony's got to probably take a foul. He could kick at it, I guess.
Yeah, I'd just take a foul here because Jason's got it. Then he has to answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's behind further, right? So he's either got to kick away or now he's going to give up a shot here.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. But
yeah, his make speed is a little probably more than he wants, meaning as far as he can't guard the cue ball, but sure does make it at a pretty high rate, right? Decent, 6, 7 out of 10.
I might even play the 6 in that.
You got to shoot it there, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just laying too nice not to shoot it.
Yeah.
He's still going to give up the first shot.
Yeah.
Good speed on the cue ball. Really good speed on the cue ball. And almost put it to where the straight backs, he's got to hit it so clean if he wants to play it to his left.
Yeah.
Like he could easily sell out playing it to his left. I mean, you can sell out both ways, but usually they bank him back underneath him here, right?
Yeah, most of the bank players play it in the...
Where he's standing?
Yeah.
Got to hit it dead straight if he's going to bank it the other way. Oh, he played 3 rail on the side, 4 in the corner.
have been trying to play a one rail, huh? Just caught it fat.
I think he was playing a 4-rail, maybe. I don't know. He sure did put a lot of speed on it. I think if he was playing the one railer, he would have probably rolled it more. That 3 in the side shot, though, looked pretty good. Kim Davenport made that on me in the final of the Reno Sands. Hill
Wow.
on the 8 to get shape on the 9. I had him dead to rights, and he played it. What a shot. So Shaw with the corner hook turned the game around.
Yeah, wow. That was huge. That was huge there, the corner hook. I believe you have to take a foul there. I just don't.
Yeah,
especially
now,
with that score.
Yeah. Now, do you wait once? Do you just take the foul on the corner hook there, and then if he fouls back, do you roll out at some time to the middle of the end rail? What's your strategy there? Do you roll out immediately to the end rail, Nick, or where you both need two, or?
No, I'm going to leave him there and drag him down a
yeah,
little further away. And,
yeah, exactly.
And then I'll probably roll it to the middle of the
He
table.
might roll it. You never know, right?
Yeah.
And this it's another reason why you got to stay pretty aggressive. You got to stay smart with it, but it is winter break, you know. So if Tony so Tony gets a game on the board, right? He can get to going. He's got a long railer on the 7. The 2's awfully hard to pass up on.
I couldn't pass the 2 up here. I love this shot.
I always say just stay heavy on it. It's going to use the bottom rail a little bit. See, cut it a little. You got to force yourself with the clean conditions.
Yeah, you got to hit that fat.
Yeah.
You got no chance when it comes short.
Yeah, and the slick conditions, it just doesn't grab that cut-induced English, I think is what they call it. It doesn't grab like your pool room table and turn over. Now, I know me and you both like the 9. I think it's a pretty doable bank.
Yeah. Oh, the 3's okay, too.
Just to his left? Or
the 7's okay, too. He's got a lot of choices here. The one ball to the...
Tony's so good at this shot at the 9, though. I mean, as long as he doesn't overhit it, it's going to grab. Now, he shoots them different than I do. When I shoot the 9, I don't put a whole lot of inside, maybe a quarter tip. I just hit down on the ball to make it grab a little bit.
Just cut it to get the spin.
Exactly, yeah.
Just guess how much you got to cut it. Yeah, I don't like to use much English. I bet you got to hit a little firmer. You can't roll it that way so much. But
yeah, it's like a medium-ish, right? You don't have to crush it, but you got to get it to twist a little bit.
You got to make it turn.
Yeah.
You know, if you hit it too soft, it won't turn.
Yeah. What I've always found is a downward angle on my cue stick makes it grab a little bit more for me, anyways. Almost, I don't know what it is.
Anytime you aim below center of the cue ball, you're going to
create more
magnify
grab.
whatever's going on, whether you hit the white and get too much English and then miss the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime you go below the center, you better hit it better because, well, and a lot of frozen balls where they got to go the maximum, where you got a couple balls frozen, you always go below center to try to get more turn.
Right. 2-railer on the 2, maybe slides by the 8.
Yeah, I like that. 2 in the corner. It's laying pretty good, too.
Yeah, you can be aggressive with it, too. Don't roll it too much.
He caught that tip.
The table.
I think he caught that upper point.
Now, one thing, Jason spent a lot of time on the 10-footer, which will get you in stroke first off after 9,000-plus balls playing straight pool last week, but not only that, but what I was going to get at is these tournament, the TV conditions here, right? They're a little different than the outer tables, and you got to say that Jason has definitely spent more time on these types of tables than Tony has, right, as a whole.
Yeah.
So he's going to understand the slick table a little bit more probably. Tony's good at it, though. First big mistake from Jason. What do you like here? He's just going to go at the 9? I didn't think it went. The 2-ball cross corner?
I think I'd go for the 2.
Same thing. Stay thick. Nice shot.
Yeah, that's a dead center. One bad thing now, you get to hit the side of the stack is what I'm thinking. And come back up. We're running high here.
Yeah, right. Now, you try to get the cue ball, on his left side of that in rail, right, to make it tough to run the ball again. So a little bit of right here. Don't threaten the scratch or nothing, but coming off the 4, a little bit of high right. He's crossing the 8. Watch out for the cue ball, 2 rails. Oh, wow, what a hit.
Oh, man.
Look at the cue ball speed